Hi everybody, DJ Trains here. Welcome to the third installment of my series Layout Stuff, which, for those of you who haven't seen the series yet, is a series where I basically take different parts of my layout and break down their construction, the different pieces, what are my favorite parts, what I like, what I don't like, that sort of thing. So today, for the third installment, as I previously stated, we're going to be taking a look at the Knapford Station and surrounding village set. So Knapford Station and Village. This is a set that has been a long time in the making and that I actually only completely finished about a few months ago. So I want to get into that. So first of all, let's just get a nice kind of overhead view of the set because it's not super big, but it's also not very small either. So the set basically sits in between Tidmouth Sheds and the Ironworks and the end of the Maithwaite Bridge. And it kind of goes in front of the Ironworks a bit. It goes down here. It goes up. Over it, the main line actually does go through it. Back there, and then, yeah, the village. So, I guess we should probably get into the construction now. So, initially, there was nothing, there was no Knapford Station here. Initially, this was actually, I had the 2015 Take and Play Solar Waterworks set here. You know, the one where Thomas goes across the bridge and the waterfall comes out. That sort of thing. I had that there. But then I took it out and I actually put this station building, which is actually a little Christmas thing, I put that right here, and then there was nothing else. It was just that one station. And it was like that for a very, very long time. It was like that for a while, and then eventually, I started to add buildings. So I added this, those three have always been there since the village started. And then the churches and the schools have actually changed a bit. So this school and this school have actually swapped places about twice. They've swapped places about twice. And this church and this church have swapped places. Although this one I actually never had anywhere else in the layout. This one's actually a new church. I've had it for probably about like a week or two now. This video is recorded in July. So as of right now, I had it for about 2 weeks. So yeah, so that church was there. If you've watched my series, then you know, you'll probably be aware of some of the changes that have happened. So yeah. So that was just this building and that village for a long time. But then for Christmas of 2020, I got the Knapford Station tile track set. Now, I'm sure you're probably wondering, why have this one? Why not get the big 2003, 4, whenever it came out, take along Knapford Station? Well, I do have that, and I do quite like the set, but I think it's just not that practical. The tracks aren't through tracks. There's only one actual track that goes through the station. It's really big and kind of irritating to put on a layout. Basically, it's a nice set, and I like it, but for my layout and for what I want out of a Knapford Station set, it just doesn't really work. However, now we have the Knapford Station tile track set, which I think is probably, in terms of like a train yard setup, probably the best iteration of Knapford Station. The main building isn't super long, but I think it works okay. And not only that, but it allows me to have this nice back main line here. Because this set, if I turn it so it's facing like this, so like the ends there are on that side, it doesn't fit. But because of the way the main line is, I can do this, and I can have all this extra yard space in here. And it works really well. So I added this in, and I thought it looked pretty good, but then I decided, well, I want more yard space. So I added these tracks back here. And I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, well, why are the tracks going straight into the village? Well, my excuse for that is that in the TV show, there's a track that goes right up to a barber shop. So 2 tracks that go right up to a church and a bakery, I don't think are, you know, all that unrealistic. So yeah, so we have that. And for a while, that was the way the set was. And like I said, I've changed the church, I've changed the school a couple times. So yeah. Alright, so why don't we maybe get into smaller details now. So one of the things that's actually, I'm sorry, I almost dropped my camera. One of the things that's actually a more recent addition as far as like small details of the people, which some of them are kind of falling over and need to fix, but I've been adding a lot more people as of recently, and I think it looks really good. So now there's a teacher, there's a lot of people. I think it looks really good. Fix that, that's all crooked. Yeah, and there's a lot more people on the platform over here too. So yeah. And then we have Sir Topham Hatt here. He usually sits here. I had him sitting at Maithwaite for the longest time, but I didn't quite like him there, so I moved him over here. Then we have a couple more dinky cars that I found and I put there. And then if we go into the actual yard itself, we have Sunny, we have Stafford, and we have the Earl pump truck, which I quite like. So so do our library cars here because I don't really know why. And then Andy and Clarabelle are always over here too. Initially, I had them at my Tidmouth Shed set, but I eventually decided, well, they're kind of always in the yard in the show, and I also wanted more space for engines in Tidmouth Yard, so that's why Andy and Clarabelle are now over here. Now, and of course, there's all kinds of other details too, like there's this broken HO scale freight car, which I put here. I'm going to try and fill it with coal at some point, if I can find some, like some fake coal maybe. I'm going to try and do that. There's a nice little signal. That wasn't supposed to happen. Bloopers. There's a nice little signal here, and there's the... Damn it! Why does it keep doing that? That's bad. I need to fix that. And there's the clock and this thing, which I quite like. And then there's the sign, which isn't super accurate, because Knapford's right here, and Tidmouth is right over there, but you get the point. So, yeah. And then, of course, we have the nice, you know, electrical wires, which are fairly new, and actually are kind of a pain to keep, like, stuck down. But, you know, they work. So now you're probably wondering, why is Knapford in the middle of my layout when the terminus station of the show is Knapford? Well, it's kind of just the way things happened, you know? I never really had a Knapford station set. I always had a random station here, and then I had the Farquhar station over here. And that became Farquhar because that was just a station building I used. And then over here, this kind of, although it's the end of the line, turned into Arlesdale Station because the Arlesdale Railway was located right here. So that became Arlesdale, and this was always Maithwaite because of the building, etc., etc. This I never really meant to be Knapford. It just kind of became Knapford because this is the spot I had for my Knapford station. And honestly, I think it works really well. Tidmouth Station, or not station, Tidmouth Sheds are right here. Although it's not Knapford Harbor, Brendam Docks is in close proximity to the station, which I think is pretty cool because in the show, the stations usually are in, like, a lot of the stations are in proximity to harbors. So I think that's really cool. And then, of course, you have the nice industrial ironworks next to it, which I think is pretty cool because a lot of towns in real life and stuff have big factories. So I like to think that a lot of, like, the workers live in Knapford Village. So, yeah. So overall, this isn't my favorite set on the layout. I think my favorite would have to be like Brendam or Arlesdale or maybe even Farquhar. But this is still a set that I worked a lot on and I still love a lot and that I think is definitely a set that I want to show at least a little bit more of in my series. Maybe just the village itself. But yeah, so thanks for watching and have a good day.